Welcome back, everybody. Who's ready for some head? And that's cylinder heads. We are going to put together Lexi's heads with some 685 BTR springs and assemble these bad boys for all the nitrous. So jump in here and let's see what we got going on. First things first, we got this little bottle filled up with some Moly lubricant, and we're going to lube up these shafts. The old 1-2, make sure those are seated real nice, no surface rust. We're going to measure all these and then put the locator in, put our valve spring mic in, and figuring out what we need to do to shim these. With the valve spring height tool we're going to use, we're going to measure each individual spring and then shim each spring to the correct height for maximum performance. Use this nice eraser here. 1.82. This is in session, Christian. Alright guys, we got these cylinder heads all measured out. So what we're going to do from here is we're going to take the numbers we got from the cylinder heads and then we're going to subtract coil bind, which is exactly 1 inch with the 685 springs. Then we're going to measure the lift of the cam, which is 630, 615. And then we're going to make sure that we're a safe distance away from coil bind so that we don't have issues with that. So let's get over to the board. So these are our numbers here. Okay, now, pretty easy. We're just going to knock these off. Coil bind is 1 on these. So we got 825, 815, and then what we're going to do now is we're going to subtract the cam. It's going to be 630. And the 630 and I believe 615. So that's easy enough on this one. So we got 200. And then we're going to go ahead and subtract these two here, which we're going to come up with, what do we got here? 195. So now from there, we're going to I want at least 50 from coil bind. So 50, so now we have 145, 50, 150. All right, so from here, we have 3 different shim options. We have 60 thou shims, we have 30s, and we have 15s. So what we can do here is I don't really need all the seat pressure out of these things, so we're just gonna get it as close as possible. So we're gonna take the 60, we'll do 2 of these. So we'll get 120 And then we could go all the way and put a 30 in there. I think that's what we might do. We could do two 60s and a 30. That'll get us to 150, which would basically put it 45 from coil bind. Which you could run 40 from coil bind. I usually just run 50. But we're going to go ahead and run... Yeah, let's do that. That'll be fine, because 40 from coil bind is actually just fine. Some people actually run tighter than that. So we'll go 45 coil bind here, 50 from here. Easy enough. 2 of the 60s, 1 of the 30s. So another way to get to the correct seat pressure without having to use so much shims, BTR actually offers a different retainer. Now this retainer, I believe, I'm going to measure it, but I believe it's about 60 thousandths, the height difference. Let's measure it and find out what the actual difference is, but when you order their Ultimate Spring Kit, it's likely that one of these retainers are going to come in, so that way you don't have to use as many shims. Yep, we're actually right at 1.78. Oh. It's actually 30. So we have a 50,000 difference.
50,000 what?
50,000 difference between these two different retainers. So. All right, we got both cylinder heads all measured up. Now it's just time for assembly. Alright, Brian Julie has this nice little valve seal installer tool. I'm sure there's a correct way to do it, but I do not do it that way. I decided to grind these flat, these little deals flat, and hit it with a hammer. So proceed at your own risk. What was that?
It's cool. Go ahead and your friend.
It'll be fine. That's dangerous. I'm in danger. All right, we got these bad boys all patched up, ready to go. Now, it's important that you go through this process of choosing the correct valve spring and installing it at the correct height. You don't want to get into a situation of valve float where you're knocking the seats out, you're busting the guides, and at a minimum, you're just losing a lot of power. So go ahead and get these things installed correctly at your local machine shop. Hopefully you got some tips from this video, and like, subscribe. Thanks for watching.